Hold on, don't be in a hurry to scroll past. Have you ever felt completely controlled by your emotions? One moment of criticism and your entire day crumbles. A single rejection and you spiral into self-doubt. A traffic jam and you lose your mind. If this resonates with you, you're not alone. Most people walk through life as passengers in their own experience, hijacked by whatever emotion happens to surface. But what if I told you there's a secret that ancient philosophers discovered over 2,000 years ago that could fundamentally change your relationship with your emotions? What if emotional detachment isn't about becoming cold or robotic, but about becoming more powerful, more free, and ironically, more genuinely human than ever before? Welcome to a deeper understanding of one of philosophy's most misunderstood concepts, emotional detachment through the lens of Stoicism. In the next few minutes, we're going to explore how the greatest minds of ancient Rome, emperors, generals, and slaves alike, used this principle to achieve remarkable peace, resilience, and success. By the end of this video, you'll understand not just what emotional detachment means, but how to cultivate it in your own life starting today. Before we dive into the power of emotional detachment, let's address the elephant in the room. When most people hear emotional detachment, they think of someone who doesn't care. They imagine a robot walking through life, unmoved by tragedy or joy, cold and disconnected from the world. This couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, this misunderstanding has prevented millions of people from accessing one of the most liberating philosophies ever developed. The Stoics weren't anti-emotion, they were pro-wisdom. What they taught was that your emotions shouldn't be your master. Think about it this way. Imagine driving a car where the steering wheel is controlled by a toddler in the back seat. That toddler is screaming, crying, reaching for every shiny object, and grabbing the wheel without reason or foresight. Where would your car end up? In a ditch, right? Now, most people live their lives exactly like this. Their emotions are the toddler, and their rational mind is the helpless driver. The Stoics came along and said something revolutionary. You can teach that toddler. You can establish wisdom at the helm. You can feel your emotions without being controlled by them. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in the world, the emperor of Rome himself, kept a personal diary that we still have today, and in it he continuously reminded himself of this principle. He wrote not from a position of already being perfect, but from a position of someone actively practicing, someone struggling, someone trying to apply these principles, despite holding the most stressful job imaginable. To understand emotional detachment, we need to understand the foundation of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics divided reality into two categories: things within your control and things outside your control. This is called the dichotomy of control, and it's the bedrock upon which everything else is built. Within your control, your thoughts, your effort, your intention, your values, your character, and your interpretation of events. These are entirely in your domain. An event could happen, but how you interpret that event, that's on you. Someone could insult you, but whether you feel diminished by that insult, that's your choice. Outside your control, other people's opinions. The weather, your health, your wealth, your reputation, whether people like you, whether you get the job, whether you win the race, whether someone loves you back. These are indifferent to your will. You can influence them, but you cannot control them. Here's where it gets powerful. The Stoics said that your happiness, your peace, your freedom, these must be built entirely on what's within your control. If you build your peace on things outside your control, you've built your house on sand. The waves will come, and they will demolish your peace. Most people do this unconsciously. They say things like, "I'll be happy when I get the promotion," when they're making their happiness dependent on a promotion, something they can influence but cannot control. They've surrendered their peace to fate. They've given their power away. The Stoic approach is radical. You can feel the desire for the promotion. You can work hard for it. But your contentment, your self-worth, your peace, these stay anchored in your character, in your effort, in your values. Whether you get the promotion or not becomes almost secondary too. Whether you showed up with integrity, whether you did your best work, whether you behaved honorably throughout the process. This brings us to the heart of emotional detachment, the sacred separation between what happens and what it means. An event is just data. Your boss gives you negative feedback. That's an event. Neurons fired in her brain, sound waves reached your ear. That's the objective reality. But then something else happens. Your mind creates a story. This means I'm not good enough. This means I'm going to get fired. This means I'm a failure. You've attached meaning to the event, and that meaning creates your emotional experience. The Stoics discovered something that modern psychology would take 2,000 years to prove. Your emotions don't come from what happens. They come from what you believe about what happened. Two people can experience the exact same event and have completely different emotional responses based on their interpretation. Let me give you a concrete example. Your partner doesn't text you back for an hour. Event, no text message. Two possible interpretations. One person thinks she must be busy at work. That's completely normal. Emotional response. Calm, no disturbance. Another person thinks, she's ignoring me. She must be mad at me. Our relationship is falling apart. Emotional response. Anxiety, worry, pain. Same event, completely different emotions, based entirely on the interpretation. This is where emotional detachment becomes a superpower. When you develop the ability to separate the event from the story, when you can observe your mind's narrative with some distance, you gain the freedom to choose a more rational interpretation. You become the observer of your own thoughts, rather than being possessed by them. The Stoics called this prosos, mindfulness or attention. It's the ability to watch your thoughts arise without immediately identifying with them. When you feel the impulse to panic about that unanswered text, you can pause and think, this is just my mind generating a story. What's actually true here? And in that tiny gap between stimulus and response, your freedom lives. Now, emotional detachment isn't just about controlling your thoughts. It's also about accepting reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. Think about a time when you've suffered, not from the actual event, but from your refusal to accept the event. Someone breaks up with you, and for weeks or months you suffer not just from missing them, but from the constant internal battle. This shouldn't have happened. I can't believe this happened. Why did this happen? You're pouring emotional fuel on the fire by refusing to acknowledge that it did in fact happen. The Stoic approach is almost paradoxical. To reduce your suffering, you accept the worst possible outcome. You practice negative visualization. The Romans called it premeditatio malorum. You actually contemplate the worst thing that could happen. This isn't about being pessimistic. It's about preparation. If you've already contemplated that you might lose your job, that you might get sick, that people might reject you, that things might not go according to plan, when it actually happens, you're not shocked. You're not devastated. You've already accepted it as part of the possibility space. A modern example. Imagine you're about to give a presentation. Most people try to only think positive thoughts. I'm going to crush this. Everyone will love it. But then if something goes wrong, they're blindsided. Their anxiety skyrockets because they've made the outcome binary in their mind. Either everything goes perfectly or everything is terrible. A Stoic approach. I've prepared well. I know my material. There's a chance I might stammer. There's a chance someone might ask a question I don't know the answer to. There's a chance people might not find it interesting. And all of those things would be okay. I can handle them. They wouldn't define my worth. When you've already accepted these possibilities, you're calmer going in. And paradoxically, you perform better because you're not white-knuckling everything. One of the most radical concepts the Stoics introduced is the idea of indifference, but not indifference in the way we usually think about it. When Stoics talk about indifference, they mean indifference to outcomes that are outside your control, while still maintaining care for the process. You practice indifference toward the results while being intensely focused on your effort and your intention. Think of it like a tennis player. If you're emotionally attached to winning every point, you'll be devastated, frustrated, playing poorly. But if you become indifferent to the outcome of each point while being fully focused on executing perfect technique, something interesting happens. You play better, you're looser, you're more creative, and as a consequence, you win more points. This isn't apathy, this is clarity. This is focus on what matters. Your effort, your attention, your technique, your character. The outcome takes care of itself. In your career, this is revolutionary. How many people are miserable at work because they're desperately attached to outcomes outside their control? They want the raise, they want the recognition, they want people to appreciate them, and so they're constantly anxious, frustrated, seeking validation from others. A Stoic approach, show up and do excellent work. That's within your control. Be the kind of person you'd want to work with. Be reliable, honest, diligent, treat people well. These are entirely in your power. Whether people recognize it, whether you get the promotion, whether they appreciate you, these are bonus. The Stoics' peace and sense of accomplishment doesn't depend on these external things. This creates an interesting paradox. By becoming indifferent to outcomes, you actually increase your chances of achieving positive outcomes, because you're not desperate, not anxious, not grasping. You're operating from a place of calm confidence and clarity, and people respond to that. Now I want to address something important. Doesn't emotional detachment make you a bad friend, partner, or parent? Couldn't it make you selfish and cold? This is where the Stoics show their brilliance. Emotional detachment doesn't mean not caring about people. It means not being destroyed when people disappoint you. It means loving people without needing them to complete you. It means caring deeply about their well-being while remaining unattached to whether they reciprocate. Think about what makes a truly great parent, partner, or friend. It's not someone who is emotionally needy, who falls apart when their child makes a mistake, who is devastated when their partner has a bad day and isn't available. The great ones are the ones who remain calm and clear, who can hold space for others' struggles without being pulled into dysfunction themselves. When you practice emotional detachment, your relationships actually improve. You can listen to your partner without immediately making it about you. You can parent your children without needing them to validate you. You can be a friend to someone without needing constant reassurance that they still like you. The Stoics weren't advocating for isolation. They were advocating for mature, healthy attachment. Marcus Aurelius loved his wife. Seneca had deep friendships. Epictetus had students he cared about. But their care wasn't conditioned on those people being perfect or meeting their expectations. Their care was rooted in a deeper principle. This is a human being, worthy of kindness and respect. Here's the practice. Love people as if they might leave tomorrow. Spend time with them as if you're grateful for the present moment rather than taking it for granted. Tell them how you feel today rather than assuming you'll have infinite tomorrows. This isn't morbid, it's liberating. It intensifies your genuine connection because you're not pretending the moment will last forever. Where emotional detachment becomes absolutely essential is in the face of real adversity. And let me be clear, real adversity comes for everyone. Epictetus was a slave in Rome. He was brutally treated, and yet he's remembered as one of the most influential philosophers in history, someone who achieved profound inner peace and wisdom. How? Through the exact principles we're discussing. He couldn't control his master's whip, but he could control his interpretation. He couldn't control his circumstances, but he could control his character. He couldn't control whether he remained a slave, but he could control his inner freedom. He famously said, "Some things are within our control, and some things are not. Within our control are our judgments, desires, aversions, and will. Outside our control are our body, property, reputation, and position. Accept the things outside your control and exercise proper use of reason over the things within your control, and you will achieve peace." When your child gets sick, you can't control whether they recover. You can control how you show up for them. You can control your effort to get them proper care. You can control your composure so they don't absorb your panic. You can control whether you maintain perspective and dignity throughout the ordeal. When you experience financial loss, you can't control the market. You can control how you respond. You can control whether you spiral into self-pity or mobilize your creativity and effort to rebuild. You can control what you learn from the experience. When you're rejected or betrayed, you can't control how others treat you. You can control whether you interpret this rejection as evidence that you're unlovable, or whether you recognize it as information about their priorities or their issues. You can control whether this makes you more bitter or more wise. The Stoics understood something that many modern therapies are just rediscovering. The best medicine for suffering isn't to avoid difficult emotions, but to change your relationship with them, to feel them fully, but not be defined by them, to let them pass through like weather, observing them with some distance. So how do you actually practice this? How do you move from understanding emotional detachment intellectually to living it? The first step is what the Stoics called the discipline of perception. This is about training your mind to automatically interpret events in a more rational, empowering way. When something bad happens, pause. Notice the story your mind is telling. Then ask yourself, is this story true? Is this the only way to interpret this situation? What would be a more rational interpretation? Your boss doesn't greet you warmly this morning. The untrained mind says, "Oh no, I've done something wrong. She's mad at me." The trained mind might think, "She seems preoccupied today. Maybe she has something going on. Her mood has nothing to do with my worth." A project fails. The untrained mind says, I'm a failure. I can't do anything right. The trained mind says, this didn't work out this time. What can I learn? What will I do differently next time? You mess up in front of people you wanted to impress. The untrained mind says, everyone thinks I'm incompetent now. I'm embarrassed. My reputation is ruined. The trained mind says, I made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. How I handle it next will determine what people think of me long term. This is practice. This is discipline. Every single day, you're training your mind to see events more clearly, to tell yourself more empowering stories, to separate fact from fiction. The second discipline is the discipline of desire. This is about training yourself to want the right things. The Stoics didn't say don't have desires. They said carefully examine your desires. Ask yourself, is this something I can actually control? Is this something I actually need? What if I don't get it? Will my life still be worth living? Most of our suffering comes from wanting things we don't have and fearing losing things we do have. We're constantly grasping, constantly anxious. The discipline of desire is about training yourself to desire primarily the things within your control. Your growth, your character, your effort, your peace of mind. And then, regarding external things, wealth, status, health, pleasure, you can want them with what the Stoics called a light touch. You pursue them because they can be useful, but you don't depend on them for your well-being. Think about a modern example, wanting to be rich. Most people want to be rich because they believe it will solve their problems, make them happy, earn them respect. So they're desperately seeking it, anxiously checking their portfolio, comparing themselves to others, feeling inadequate. And even if they become rich, they're still anxious about losing it. A Stoic approach. More money could be useful. It could allow me to help more people, have more freedom, be more secure. I'll pursue it through my work and my effort. But my happiness doesn't depend on it. My self-respect doesn't depend on it. My peace of mind doesn't depend on it. Whether I have money or not, I can live according to my values. When you let go of the desperate attachment to external outcomes, something liberating happens. You actually increase your chances of achieving them. Because you're thinking clearly, not from scarcity, not from desperation. The third discipline is the discipline of action. This is where the rubber meets the road. Once you've aligned your perception and your desires, how do you act in the world? The Stoic answer, with complete focus and effort while remaining indifferent to outcomes. This is probably the hardest concept for modern people to grasp because we're so outcome obsessed. In your career, work with excellence, integrity, and effort. Show up early, leave late if necessary, master your craft. But don't do it for the approval of others or for the guarantee of success. Do it because excellence is inherently worthwhile, because you respect yourself, because this is how you want to spend your limited time on earth. In your relationships, be the kind of friend, partner, parent that you would want to be, the kind that you'd respect. Communicate honestly, show up consistently, be supportive, but understand that you cannot control whether people reciprocate, whether they change, whether they stay. You can only control your own integrity in the relationship. In your health, make smart choices. Exercise, eat well, sleep enough. But understand that despite your best efforts, you might get sick anyway. Aging happens. Death happens. So you make the smart choices not from fear or desperation, but from self-respect. The beauty of this is that it transforms your entire experience of life. You're no longer exhausting yourself trying to control the uncontrollable. You're focusing your energy on what you can actually influence: your choices, your effort, your character. When you practice these three disciplines consistently, something remarkable begins to happen. You start to experience a freedom that most people never taste. External events no longer have the power to destroy you. You lose your job, your character remains. You can find another job. You experience rejection, your self-worth remains. You get sick, your peace of mind can remain. You lose money, your integrity, your relationships, your mind, these remain. This doesn't mean you don't feel sadness or disappointment. You absolutely do. But there's a freedom in those emotions. They move through you like clouds moving through the sky. You don't cling to them, you don't resist them. You feel them fully and then they pass. And you stop living in the future. You stop catastrophizing. You stop playing out worst-case scenarios in your head. You become present. You stop taking things personally that were never personal. You stop seeing slights where there were none. You become harder to hurt because fewer things have the power to hurt you. And paradoxically, this makes you more capable of genuine love and connection because it's not desperate, it's not needy, it's not conditional. Marcus Aurelius, commanding the most powerful empire in the world, wrote these words that he never intended to be published, probably never even reread. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is what emotional detachment actually is. It's not weakness, it's not coldness. It's the ultimate strength. The strength to be moved by life without being destroyed by it. The strength to care deeply while remaining free. You don't need to become a perfect Stoic philosopher. You just need to practice. And practice starts small. Today, notice one event that triggered an emotional reaction in you. Notice the event itself, and notice the story your mind attached to it. Are they the same thing? Write them down. Just the act of separating them will create some space, some freedom. Tomorrow, when something doesn't go the way you wanted, instead of immediately being upset, ask yourself, is this actually bad, or have I decided it's bad? What's outside my control here? What's inside my control? Next week, practice wanting something with a light touch. Want it, work for it. But remind yourself, I'd like this outcome, but my peace doesn't depend on it. My integrity doesn't require this. I will be okay either way. Over weeks and months, as you practice these disciplines, you'll notice shifts. You'll be less reactive. You'll be more present. You'll be more capable. You'll be freer. This isn't about becoming inhuman. It's about becoming fully human. It's about the kind of strength that comes from inside, that can't be taken away, that doesn't depend on anyone or anything else agreeing with you. The Stoics called this freedom the highest good. Not wealth, not pleasure, not power. Freedom. The kind of freedom that comes when your peace of mind is built on your own character, your own effort, your own wisdom. And that freedom is available to you. Not in some distant future, not when conditions are perfect. Now, today, with the next event that happens, you can practice emotional detachment. You can become the master of your own experience. 2,000 years ago, a slave named Epictetus, an emperor named Marcus Aurelius, and countless others discovered a secret that modern psychology is just now validating. You have more power over your life than you think. Not power over circumstances. Power over your interpretation of circumstances. Power over how you respond. Power over what you become. That's the secret power of emotional detachment, and it's waiting for you to claim it. If this message resonated with you, don't just scroll past it, carry it with you. Hit like so this mindset reaches more people who need it, and subscribe to the channel, because the next lesson might be the one that changes how you see everything. Stay disciplined, stay calm, stay in control.